The time for talk and previews is over, ladies and gentlemen, as the final race of this 36 race 9-month journey that is the NASCAR IOP Cup Series season is going to begin very shortly in a few moments in front of a sellout crowd and a gorgeous afternoon for racing. Temperatures in the low 60s, mid 60s right now. It's cool for a mid-November championship weekend, but that's an important thing. No inclement weather on the radar all day, and the possibility of this race going under the lights, the finish. That's going to make this even more exciting. Hot Atlanta is going to become Fast Atlanta. If you look at the top 10, you'll notice all four of the championship 4 drivers, including Caleb Hoffman, who surprisingly was not fined anything for his post-race brawl last Monday at Brighton. He will be starting 4th, and a surprise to all of us, Grayson Alcebno in the 1 car is going to be starting on the pole for this race. Definitely one of the biggest surprises we've seen is the 1 car just being faster on a more consistent basis every week. Now, while we're here, let's go down to the starting lineup. In row 1, we have the Gear Wrench Chevrolet and the M&M's Caramel Toyota. Starting today from row 2, we have the Credit One Bank Chevrolet and the Eris Toyota. 2 drivers in the Championship 4 looking for back-to-back. One of them looking for a back-to-back title. Starting in row 3, Jacob 2, Mr. Consistent throughout the chase and one of the hottest drivers in the garage all year, looking for his 2nd title. Nate Sherman and Dylan Murway, unfortunately both drivers were eliminated last week at Brighton. Then you see row 5, you have the Exalta Chevrolet and the Furniture Row Toyota. Beginning from row 6, we have the Great Clips Chevrolet and the Pennzoil Ford. Row 7 finds the Dow Chemicals Chevrolet and the DeWalt Power Tools Toyota. Row 8 finds the Fifth Third Bank Ford and the Smithfield Ford. Starting today from row 9, we have the Menard Chevrolet, as Richard Childress has announced they'll be going to 2 cars next year. Penske announced earlier yesterday that they will be getting a 3rd car, and Menard's Cup Series will bring his sponsorship there. Starting from row 11, we have the 25 car and the Lilly Diabetes Ford. Starting from row 12, we have the Caterpillar Chevrolet and the Procore Tools Chevrolet. While we're here, let's see if we can mic up Mr. Caleb Hoffman here on our radio here, Wally. Hey, Caleb Hoffman, this is Wally Dallenbach up in the NBC Sports booth. You got us? Yeah, Wally, I got you. What's up? How about it, man? Championship Sunday. Probably one of the hungriest guys in the garage. After a little bit of a setback like Monday afternoon, how do you put that behind you? I mean, looking back, that was just emotions and it being heat of the moment with the contact with the 6. Honestly, my team really knows how to put big things like that behind us so we can focus on the next race ahead. Anyways, our Eris Toyota, it looks pretty fast today. we were really good up on top in yesterday's session. Hopefully we can run right around the top, and hopefully it'll lead us into a championship. Alright, you have a good one now there, bud. Yeah, 10-4, thanks. You will be one of the 4 championship drivers who will be carrying onboards this afternoon as this race progresses into the evening. And eventually we'll finish under the lights. Anyways, one of the major things that we talked about in the previous show with all the championship drivers and their opinion of having the championship race start later than usual, it's really gonna put on a show tonight for the fans, especially those who like seeing races end under the lights. You're gonna see a lot of sparks and a lot of aggression, and most likely a very close finish here in Atlanta. Atlanta has been known for some fantastic fights to the finish in the past. Some of the notable ones being Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon in 2001, and in 2011 between Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, and in 2005 between Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson. Could we see another one tonight? And imagine 2 chase contenders fighting for the finish. While we're here, let's go down to Scan All and listen to the crew chiefs and owners give their drivers their final pep talks of the race. Joe Gibbs radioing to both the 18 and the 19. All right, boys, good luck today. Bring us home our second IOP Cup Series championship. My advice is don't wreck each other, please. I don't want to have to pay for damages Monday. Race your hearts out. And if one of you wins and one of you wrecks while going for the win, I will be perfectly fine with that. Now let's listen to Clayton Hughes talking to his driver. All right, buddy. 500 miles until the end of the season, crowning a champion. You've got some fast horses up in there. Put that beautiful little Furniture Row Toyota in Victory Lane, baby. And finally, to Jacob Tube with team communications from crew chief Alan Gustafson and spotter A. DeHunt. This team will become the 9 team next year. And the 5 team will become the new 2014 team with crew chief combination Darian Grubb and Tab Boyd. Let's go to Alan Gustafson. All right, Jake, you got all right, Mr. Jacob. You got 18 laps. This is your house. We've been here before. Let's go give Mr. Rick a reason to have another trophy. It's all you, baby. Let's make it count. Hopefully we'll stay out of trouble here and be there at the end. Lights are off on the Corvette pace car. You know what this means? We're about to go racing. 9 months that began all the way on Sunday night on NASCAR on NBC in the Daytona 500. Took a bit of a break. Started up at Kansas. And the road will end here before we take a break. Let the Fox boys take over. Final race of the season is underway here in Atlanta. Boy, Caleb Hoffman was true to his word going into turn 1. He is way up on that outside groove. You got 2 Ganassi cars having to slide up. Caleb Hoffman out to the early lead. Side by side, a lot of people really experimenting with grooves further back. Zach Speed, the 20, was all the way up on the outside groove a few moments ago. As you see, Caleb Hoffman get 5 very crucial championship points heading back into turn 1. Derek Lewis currently sits in second right now, making their way out of turns 1 and 2 and down the back stretch. Looks like he's going to try to bring the 24 with him. Here on the bottom, here comes the 18 of Joshua Leanbatch trying to lean low to take the 4th spot. Grayson Alsev, Joshua Leanbatch got a terrible initial first start here. Went off a 2, going into 1, and it really was the reason that whole field got stacked up. Caleb Hoffman showing the way early on here at Atlanta. And a little bit of aggressive racing. Let's go on board the 18. All right, inside 11, inside 4. Watch the 4. Watch the 4. Watch the 4. Okay, 1's blocking you like hell. 4 inside. 4 inside. 4 inside. 4 inside. 4 inside. 2. 11. Evan's gonna come low here. 11's gonna try to make you do something. Hold steady on this run here, okay? Tell you what, that one car is one of the toughest people to pass. Been one of the toughest people to pass lately. He's been getting wide when it needs to, or when he needs to. Looks like. Okay, you got the 1 and the 4 side by side. 1 and the 4 side by side. One and the 4. 1 and the 4. Oh, crossover. Caleb Hoffman is fast. He's flying right now. That 19 car is flying. He's flying fast past these guys. He's already gotten to the 7. As we make our way back down into turn 3. Now this lap traffic is good because it puts more distance between both the 42 and the 19 and even the 24, but at the same time the more traffic really holds up the 19, and the more the 19 is forced to go down to the bottom, the more it's going to really allow the 42 and the 24 to really catch up. 42 still having issues with the 9. Aggressive racing and fast racing on a chilly November afternoon so far here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Caution has gone out for the first time this afternoon at Atlanta, and this one is big for one of the chase drivers. Grayson Alcevdo came up right in front of the nose of the 18, coming down the backstretch, trying to squeeze in between the 18 and the 4. The hole was not big enough, and both cars went slammed into the backstretch wall. Dylan Murway, I saw he hit that wall head on. And you see that the heavy contact between both for the one car, he hit the wall twice. But notably, I'm really looking at the 4 car. He hit head on. Heavy impact for the 4 car. Tell you what, when you get hit in a really light spot on the quarter panel, when your right front hits the wall and ricochets off, it's usually a big hit. And the 4 is able to luckily get it out of the way of traffic, because that was a massive lick. This is Dylan Murway. Remember, he was eliminated Monday afternoon at Brighton. Definitely not the way he wanted his season to end. Wasn't involved in one of the race's many crashes, but he was taken out. He just didn't have a good enough finish to get in. But really tough to say. And that's Dylan Murway's only his second last place finish for the 4 car. And I mean, that was a wicked shot. I mean, you saw the way luckily, remember back in 2015 during the whole safer barrier craze, NASCAR was very proactive after the Kyle Busch incident, which I applaud them quite greatly for. They put safer barriers all around, everywhere on these tracks. If there is a wall, there is a safer barrier protecting it. Even on some of the road courses, including Montreal. If they don't have a safer barrier, they have some form of tire barrier on the track, including the new Montreal road course we're going to next September. That track has a lot of tire barriers put in place just for driver safety and a hard wall to stop them. Even Brighton has even made pseudo safer barriers, which are basically tires followed by jersey barriers outside the regular track and field's guardrail all the way around the joint. Caleb Hoffman will elect to take the top side. Joshua Leanbatch immediately took his car to pit road. He has gotten the left front nose of that car, which was where he hooked the 1 car and triggered that whole mess, causing the 1 to pinball into the 4 car. It really set him back quite a bit. He will be restarting 25th Second to last car on the lead lap. 26 cars on the lead lap. Caleb Hoffman is the control car. As you can see, the sun is starting to set. Let's see what here in the background. The sunset will be slated at 5:49 p.m. local to the track. But we have about an hour and 2 minutes until that happens. Sorry, we have about 57 minutes or so until that happens. Great push by the 11 of SportsCenter Cup Series to allow him to get down in front of the 42. Now, as we look at top of your screen, anybody who is, as you see on the bottom, the Championship 4 markers, those drivers are going to be highlighted in blue to match the IHOP blue of the series. As you can see right now, if the race were to end immediately, Caleb Hoffman would be walking to his second IHOP Cup Series title. And how about this? The 11 trying to go for second on the 42. And the 78 going 3 wide off 4. Wow. And he's making 3 wide work. Luckily, the 78 gets by. And how about this? SportsCenter Cup Series going down low. He doesn't want to stay in second much longer. He wants the lead, and he's going to try to get it here. A little bit of a snap issue there between the 43 and the 48 a few months ago. And while we're here, let's look at Joshua Leanbatch and some of the crazy moves he's made since this last restart. Look at this. Going into turn 3, they were 4 wide in front of him. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, how is he going to make this? Four wide, no room to go, coming off of 2. Don't matter, just get enough of a run if a car slows up. And I mean really slows up. He just cut low. Wow, he was all the way down low. Oh, gets 4 cars in one pass. As we got another issue here down at 3 and 4. It is the 41 of Hunter Rizzoni, who has spun and backed it into the wall. Alright, hold the brakes. You got one more coming. You got one more coming. Alright, caution's out. Caution's out, dude. You good? Yep. The second caution of the afternoon. For the number 41. He didn't look like he got much damage. Oh yeah, he's smashed the clip in. The rear clip smashed in fairly sufficiently. Amazingly, still driving it down pit road. Hunter Rizzoni, remember, he was another one of the drivers that was taken out last Monday in Brighton. Not the way Hunter Rizzoni wanted his season to end. Not the way any of Stuart Haas's cars wanted their seasons to end. Dylan Murray finishing last. Hunter Rizzoni most likely finishing near him on the track. And the highest Stuart Haas car being the 10 of Blake Dillon, all the way back near the middle of the field. There you see the lights are starting to come on here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just a reminder that on this episode of Sunday Night Football, we are actually down in nearby Benz Stadium here. Just a reminder, we are nearby Benz Stadium. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to be taking on the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons, in a little Sunday night matchup. See the coverage for that thing begins at 7 p.m. over on CNBC, and then at the conclusion of this race, we will set you over to the Falcons and Bengals out at Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Falcons and Bengals beginning at coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with Football Night in America with former San Diego Chargers quarterback LaDainian Tomlinson alongside Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth, bringing you the action from the Superdome. We're getting a little bit of extra action ourselves. Why don't we go ahead and go inside the mic with the 11 Sports Center Cup Series and the 19 of Caleb Hoffman. Let's listen to both their spotters. Ready. Alright, go. Green. Watch the 24. He's going to try to cross the middle. 3 wide, 3 mid, 3. Watch him. Back by 3. Alright, you got the 5 behind you. You got the 5. 5 right behind you. He's going to try to push you by. He's going to try to push. He's going to go for the push. He's pushing you here. So get down in front of the 11. The 11 is starting to drag the brake here, going in pretty heavily, going into 3. It's really stacking the field up. It's just, so far it may just be you and the 11. Alright, it's you and the 11 here. Come on through. 11, 2 back. The car is, the 11's 2 back. Okay, we got a problem here in turn, got a spin here in 4. We got a wreck here in 4. We got a small wreck here on the front here. Oh, problems for Noah Spalding as he slides across the racetrack and slams the outside wall. Another major impact for Zachary Lombard, rumored to drive for the new Levine family racing team next year. He ran quietly pretty much the entire majority of the race. Came right across the nose of the 25. Big time rookie mistake. He was actually lucky enough to still be going. the 25 is slammed the outside wall hard. Hard contact. FYI, this will be the third caution of the race. Looks like the old surface before this new Atlanta repave really giving these guys one last thrill. We only have 31 cars on the racetrack, and I promise you things are going to get interesting here. Getting set for another restart here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We have 3 championship contenders up in the mix and one slowly working his way back into the top 10. We also would like to remind you that starting it over on our sister network on TNT, those of you who are wanting to watch any NBA basketball footage, you can watch the Denver Nuggets take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The tip-off is about to take place very shortly. And speaking of Atlanta sports teams, former quarterback Michael Vick, was Hall of Fame quarterback till the dogfighting incident. Michael Vick was actually on command to wave the green flag today. Former quarterback and Madden NFL 2004 cover boy, Michael Vick waved the green flag to start this Napa 500. And with 8 laps to go, with 9 laps to go here when we get the green, this championship battle has just gotten tighter. And how about, I want to give a big shout out to Joshua Leanbatch. He's currently sitting 13th right now on this restart, making his way back after getting some damage in an early caution. Made his way back into the top 15. Look for him to do some crazy stuff on the restart. Look for a lot of people to do something crazy on this restart. Jacob Tube quickly to the inside. And he's going to go for the lead right here. And the 11 gets dropped. Hops back in the field. side by side for the lead as we come down the backstretch. Two good friends off the track, but right now these guys do not like each other. Hunter Miller pushing his teammate to the lead. Caleb Hoffman holding strong. Jacob 2's really going to have to slide up here if he wants to keep that 19 car behind him and out of any possible shot here to win. Oh, he didn't cross over. He pulled even going into one. Look at this. The 19 chased up the track. One down into two. And down the backstretch. What? How did these guys not wreck going into turn 3? Derek Lewis waiting in the wings in case they do. Oh, we got trouble off of turn 4. We got a couple cars here spinning. It is the 3 of Joshua Leanbatch getting tipped into the getting pinched and spun by the 17. Oh, behind them. Wow. The 16 car is in the 6, bounced into the 48. Actually, no, the 48 saved it. And wow. There you see the 3 of Jonathan Morrison. It's been feast or famine for him. So desperate to get back to victory lane. And right there, judging by those steering wheel slams, you can definitely see the pure frustration in his voice. God fucking damn it. Damn it. You can see the frustrations running fairly high for the 3 team as they will restart 28th. Those of you who are curious to watch the Cincinnati Bengals and Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football, you can flip your channels over to CNBC or watch on the NBC Sports Live Extra app and listen to LaDainian Tomlinson, Tom Hammond, and Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth call the game from nearby Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Right here, 8 laps to go. All 4 of the championship contenders in the top 10. 2 of them on the front row. Stakes cannot be any higher. Just what a storyline it would make for if Joshua Leanbatch in the 18 started second, had issue with the 1, had to go all the way to the back, worked his way all the way through the field to get to the front, inside the top 10 actually, to earn a title. How about this? Denver has seen many championships in their sports department, with the Colorado Avalanche being 2-time Stanley Cup winners, Denver Broncos being 3-time Super Bowl winners, and over on the Monster Energy side, Martin Truex bringing home the first title to Furniture Row. Over on the IOP Cup Series side, can WUB Network in the 78 bring home Furniture Row's NASCAR App Cup Series Championship. And up front, you got two gladiators ready to go all out in these next 8. It'll be 7 laps now. Next 7 laps, can these two drivers try to go for it? For the win in a 7-lap boxing match and 7 nervous laps for both these crew chiefs. Oh boy howdy. These are going to be some stressful laps. We had to go 1 to go previously. How about Joseph Lombard? Want to give a brief shout out to him for being where he is. Peyton Beasley being up in 10th. Made his way up there. Here we go. At 5 with a terrible start. And it really bunched up the field that time by. Who can... Caleb Hoffman chased up the track again by the 24. Going to be some stressful laps for these drivers. Oh, we got a big wreck on the back stretch. Apollo Moon turned headfirst into the wall. Joseph Lombard's in it. And into the wall. Joseph Lombard also got a piece of that. Peyton Beasley's in it. And multiple cars begin to pile up behind. Hang on to that thing, hang on. Come on. All right, come on. Come on up. Did the 18 get through it? Another caution. And wow, WB Network had this happen right in front of him. He got very lucky to not get torn up in that. Nate Sherman got very lucky to not get torn up in this. But some of these other cars, not as much. Seeing all those cars just slide into the wall. You just see Apollo Moon try to get going. Peyton Beasley in the 6 in the background. Is there anybody left? Zach Speed in the 20. Menards Cup Series in the 27. Robert Smith in the 2. A lot of cars leaking a lot of oil. And there's going to be several cars coming down pit road. You see the 43 turning around. In the midst of all this, a lot of cars are getting piled up. So now we got 5 cars coming to pit road. 4 of them we know of might be able to continue. 3 of them are done. two of them are stuck together, as you see down on the inside of the racetrack. And the red flag is out as we speak. They're going to stop the cars down on the front stretch. And I mean, everybody ran into these cars. It's been, for a typical Atlanta race, it's been one of the most chaotic races we've seen here recently. The past few have been exciting and crash-filled, and have had a lot of crashes. I mean, third week in a row we've had some form of big one. We had a big one on lap 1 at Phoenix. Sorry, I had sound. When you get 4 laps to go, and 4 Gibbs cars lined up on in the next row for this next restart. Ooh, things could get interesting. And one has to bring in question, what is the possible fuel if we have to go to overtime? Can these cars make it? Three laps to go. You see the hand out Jacob Tube's window signaling to Nate Sherman. Know what that means? Give me a push. And I think he's going to come through. Here we go. Green flag back into the air. Jacob Tube with a great push from his teammate. 3 laps left in the season. Some smoke coming out of the middle of the group. Looks like the 5 may have some tire smoke. We stay green, but up front, Caleb Hoffman with an amazing slide job right in front of the 19. The 19 goes low. Look at this. 3 chase contenders, 4 wide. WP Network right next to him. 2 to go in the season. Amazing racing. Caleb Hoffman drops out of the race. He's in 3rd. He really burned his tires up trying to keep the momentum going in the middle lane. He had to really let go to not hit anybody. WB Network right to the lead. Jacob Tube all over his back bumper. Look at him pushing him down the straightaway into 3. Side by side for the lead. Out of turn 4. Crossover move. White flag left in the season. 1 lap left in the season. Oh, there's a lot of smoke here. Looks like there may be a problem with the 42. It's good. Still dead even down the back stretch. This is going to be another one of those fantastic finishes, possibly for the win here and maybe for the championship as well. Oh, crash behind the leaders. We are still green. WB Network out of 4. The 24 gets loose. Both cars beating, banging. And I can't tell who got it. And is it... They're saying... Who is it? Both cars smoking across the line. We have no idea who were the cars that came across sideways and literally pinning each other against the inside wall. And if you're wondering, the 3 cars that were involved in the crash all have driven away from the scene. Hunter Miller in the 5 blew out a right rear after contact with the 14. Tipped him into the 16, into the 21. I think the 95 had some damage in there as well. And as they're saying, we are going back to video footage. Let's go to our NBC front stretch cam presented by Coca-Cola. I think right there looked like this decides who wins the championship right here. See, these guys got loose. The 24, you can see the air come off. He uses the 78 to catch it. Both the cars get it straight. 78 goes up. And you're looking on the front stretch now. This is a live picture. The rest of the cars are down on pit road. Heartbreak for Caleb Hoffman as he drops to 5th. We are getting a NASCAR official on the call now. He is running down onto the front stretch where the 78 and 24 are parked. Both of these cars finished 1-2 in one of the most amazing battles to the finish you will ever see in racing. After looking at tape, we have decided that WUB Network is your champion. And here's your Season 5 champion, WUB Network. His car came on strong late. He is your Season 5 champion. Jacob Tube going over to give him a congratulatory handshake. In one of the hard-fought races for the championship that you'll ever see in sports. 2 guys fighting for the win, wrecking in the process. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the beauty of this elimination-style Championship 4 format, making for great moments like this. And you can look at the damage on the 24. Look at that. Look at this. If we can get a shot here, the 24 is blown out of right front. WB Network is being mobbed by his team as we speak. WUB Network, 2 wins on the season. that amazing finish in the Daytona 500. Let's go down to the center of the field, center of the track, rather. Sorry, center of the track. How about this? WB Network. From the little team that could in Denver, Colorado. Home of many an underdog story where if you doubt any team that comes out of Denver, Colorado, whether it be Furniture Row Racing or the Colorado Avalanche with Raymond Borick, or the Denver Broncos with the two legend Derek quarterbacks John Elway and Peyton Manning, these Denver teams have always risen to the occasion. And tonight, WB Network has most certainly risen to the occasion. That is why he is your Season 5 champion. FYI, that was literally the only reason I would have been able to use the NFL and CBS theme. We're going to show you the results. If you want more post-race coverage, you can tune over to CNBC and NBCSN for more post-race coverage from a wild party down in Hampton, Georgia, to a wild party in Denver, Colorado. Here's the results. WB Network with a strong run. Derek Lewis in and out a strong chase season with a lot of lofty goals for Daytona next year. Wreck his car less, most likely. Zachary Lombard with a nice rebound. Joshua Leanbach. If you're looking at Joe Gibbs' teams and anybody out of this championship four with the most heart today, through any of these setbacks, whether it be the crash with the 4 and the 1, this man was on top. Terrible finish for Jonathan Morrison. Obviously, that spin that set up that late crash. Then you see the remainder of the field. Tough race for Stuart Haas, but KFC Cup Series planted that Chevrolet in top 10. And by the way, one more thing to note. Congratulations to WB Network on an amazing championship run this season. Showing up right place, right time to score the championship. By the way, bringing the hardware to Denver. It's been a great season. The Fox Boys are going to turn the keys over here in February. Here to them in February with the Budweiser Shootout under the lights. We return in July to NBC with the Pepsi 400. Well, if you're still going to be watching any of this content here on NBC, we will take you out to Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in a few moments with Falcons and the Bengals. There was a rumor that Matt Ryan nailed an amazing play to Julio Jones. A 49-yard touchdown pass on third down, might I add. And we're all done here on NBC from Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure to tune it to NBCSN for your more championship post-race coverage. Let's take you to the Superdome with Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and LaDainian Tomlinson.